So the U.S. economy is currently in the pooper scooper, and broke girls are crying as men refuse to spend money on them. Guys are in their soft guy era. They're not putting up with the nonsense anymore. They're telling women that, hey, if they want something, they're going to have to invest in it. They're going to have to spend some money on the man. They're going to have to take the man out on a nice date, at least $300. But some dudes are saying straight up 800. They're going to need to cash app him some money so that he can get ready for his date. They're gonna have to invest. And you know what? Flowers for men, are Bitcoin. It used to be NUDES. All right, it used to be NUDES. Those used to be flowers for men, but those are the old days. All right, that's sim candy right there. No, men want Bitcoin. All right, Bitcoin is flowers for men. Bitcoin is flowers for men. So if you like it, then you can make it official with some Bitcoin. Well, I was looking at a comment from Mayumi, and I found the comment to be pretty interesting. Many of us know what's happening right now in terms of the laws that are being passed. For example, Roe versus Wade is basically a thing of the past, and a lot of states are cracking down on the practice of control alt deletion of gestations. But it's not just that. Lifetime alimony is now a thing of the past in Florida. Tennessee has passed a bill that criminalizes, makes it a misdemeanor if a woman puts the knowingly puts the wrong father's name on a birth certificate, and other states are beginning to look towards passing these same bills. And it's like every little drop that happens for modern women is basically spelling gloom and doom. They can't even handle small things. Well, let's jump into this post from Mayumi because I really like it, and I think that it's a reflection of where things are going. I think that she's being a little coy here because she has to know, obviously, how happy most men would be. But let's jump in. She says that when my husband, and this was on in response to a video where laws to punish single mothers are being passed because they are being passed very rapidly. Project 2025 is looking to ban adult content, reduce reduce access to programs like WIC, so women infant children, cut funding to things like Section 8, public housing, programs that predominantly single mothers rely on, reform the family unit, so basically giving fathers more incentive to be present in the lives of their children. It's a massive change, and they're basically trying to say, oh, well, it's Christian, and no, it's common sense. So Mayumi says here, when my husband was still active duty, and I was happy we had our son, I took it upon myself as a woman who loves her husband to get a DNA test because my man was overseas. I knew it was important to my husband to know our beloved son is his blood, his dedication, and his lineage. I didn't have to, but since my husband was was doing his service and bringing respect to his name, he deserves to know that I am completely loyal to him. Some of you would think it was uncalled for, but the glee in the face of my husband that his bloodline was at hand, he deserved to know our son is his. Our, to know our son is his son. My father in law, a combat veteran and served many years after his service in Vietnam and Desert Storm, told me many men had the broken heart of finding out Jody slept in their bed and made love to their. Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, God. Jody slept in their bed and made love to their wives. My husband was born in 1980, so my father in law didn't have to worry about it, about his wife was dedicated. So my father-in-law didn't have to worry about it. His wife was dedicated to family and still is. If a woman argues over a DNA test, they are guilty and should be investigated. I absolutely agree. Now, she obviously knows that this is how men really do feel. Because, guys, I used to live in a town where there was the Navy, and in this town, it was very normal for women to be cheating. And for example, I met this woman once at a laundromat, and she wanted to go and hook up. And eventually, like after like questioning her, she revealed to me that she tried to act like she was just like some single girl, trying to live a chill life. Bro, her husband was in the military. She was married to some military dude. She was looking for a quick hookup. I had a friend, we were very good friends, But I would get some feelings from her sometimes, like she wanted to do something else. And lo and behold, it turns out her husband was in the military and he was overseas. And this is the vibe that you would just keep getting from these women. Like their husbands are away surfing overseas, and it's like their thing. These military wives, it's their instant, it's like a part of being a military wife to cheat on your husband when he's not in the country. It's like a rite of passage for these women. It's insane. I mean, it's a culture. It's a bad culture, but it is a cultural thing. And I'm not saying all women do it. As you can see, Mayumi was not doing it. However, a lot of women engage in this very despicable act. So, as men are now entering into their era, the notion of, like, expecting that a woman furnishes a DNA test is going to be a normal thing. But a lot of men are not going to be getting married, period. Men are not getting married. It's like it's less than one out of every 1,000, less than 1 out of every 1,000 men are currently getting married in the United States. And they've already said that within 10 to 20 years, marriage will be an institution that is almost entirely gone. So virtually no one will be getting married at all. When I say at all, I mean like it'll be something like it'll be like MySpace. It just won't be around anymore, or it's like it's there but no one actually uses it. That's basically how marriage is going to work. It's going to be very, very rare. It's going to be something that people don't engage in. It'll be very interesting because this will still likely happen when a lot of the boomers are around, because people think that the boomers are just going to disappear in the next 10 years. Over the next 20 years, yes. Over the next 10 years, not so much. Many of them, if not most of them, will still be here. Will still be here in 10 years. So that's not the biggest that's not the biggest thing that's not the biggest concern. It's a reality that we have to take into consideration. These people did it to themselves, though. They made these terrible decisions for themselves. They said that, well, we're gonna go, we're gonna go out and we're gonna try to act like men, and we're gonna say we're gonna be men. And you can see what the consequences of feminism are. The consequences of feminism are pretty terrible. You know, it's terrible because you have a lot. Women were not designed to live without a husband. Women are not designed to live without a husband. They have to have that support. They have to have that safety net. They have to have that foundation. Without a man to provide for them, to give them that foundation, women cannot survive. And they think that they can, but as we enter, and the craziest thing is this, guys, they're doubling down. And basically, I called this years ago that women would say feminism got us everything that we wanted, now let's fight it together. And we're basically seeing what's happening right now, where they want to keep all the spoils of feminism while moving on from feminism, while still holding on to feminism. So basically, they're saying that men need to be masculine, positive masculinity, after years spending years tearing down masculinity, masculine women tearing down masculinity. They're saying that men need to be masculine, men need to take responsibility, and they need to reinforce responsibility in men, because women, men are just jealous that women are basically able to live easier lives, and men need to understand that it's their duty as a man to man up and do these things. It comes with being men. So after years of spending, that whole equality nonsense, they're also saying that that women's rights are human rights, but women should not be treated the same as men. And it's important. That's fifth wave feminism, emphasizing that women should not be treated the same as men, because women need equity, not equality. For women to achieve actual equality, they need equity. So they basically need specific things that are designed only for them and that men do not have access to, including various spaces. Guys, this is it's such a level of hypocrisy. But women don't comprehend that all these special rights that they have are just privileges. Okay, if women have special rights and men have special punishments, those are privileges. And right, and privileges can be taken away at any time. All right, rights that can be taken away at any time are not rights, they are privileges. And all right, and privileges, they're here today, they're gone tomorrow. Women think that the government actually cares about them. This is the craziest thing. Women believe that the government actually cares about them. All right. They don't think, oh, they think that they're partners with the government or that they have control over the government and that they are ruling over the government. They don't comprehend that the government basically does these things so they can gain their vote. The government is the intent of the government is basically to line its own pockets and to grow itself. Okay? The government does not care about women. The government does not care about men. The government cares about furthering its own interest and solidifying its powers. Okay? And it uses women to do this through engineering. Guys, what do you I just want to remind you that I also have another channel called Angry where I discuss gaming, anime, geek stuff, nerd stuff, real world stuff, and whatever else interests me. There's a link to a description of the video. Go check it out. Subscribe to the channel, support my work. And if you're enjoying the content on the Angry Guy channel, you want even more of this content, you can head over to the Men Walking Away channel. There's a link to it in the description of the video. Go check out the Men Walking Away channel. Subscribe to the channel. Support my work. Guys, what do you think regarding all of this? Broke girls are crying as men refuse to spend money on them. I want to hear your thoughts on this. Let's talk about it in the comments. Like the video if you like it. Don't forget to subscribe. And if you like the video, share the video. And just remember that all roads lead to MWA Men Walking Away. And cheers.